Welcome back. I'm now being joined. Aruna, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year and good afternoon.
Aruna Kebira is the man from Global View Capital Limited. What's happening in Global View? Let's start from there.
Well, we are trying to make value, add value to the position of our clients by a number of things, like what we do. We do wealth tracking, while we manage investment on behalf of our
What do you mean wealth tracking?
Like if you have unclaimed dividend, if you have for those people that are harvested but they don't know where the stocks are, we can help you to unearth them.
Are you going to charge for that?
Well, definitely it's not for free, but we give you at the rock bottom price as far as the industry is concerned.
All of those who probably have lost their parents and maybe they were just sweeping and then they saw a dividend warrant or something. Can you help?
Yeah, what we first of all do what we call a global search, find out exactly what position the person was before the demise. Then we have to go through the law. You know, we see that if it died with a will, we have to go with the will. If it's not with the will, then we have to go for letter of administration.
All right. Global View didn't pay for that marketing. No. All right. Looking at the market before we look at the month-on-month index movements for 2018. So far, so good today. As I can see right here now, and I'm sure you did also see some of these things before you left your trading here. The market started well, all right, moving in the green, virtually all the indicators. But as we speak now, most of the indicators are in the red. Are we saying that profit taking still subsists in the market? Because if it is a situation whereby the market is generally bad, the market will have opened in the red and then remained in the red for the rest of the day. But the fact that the market started in the green suggests that there was this approach, these efforts at ensuring a recovery. But it's like the forces against the market are a lot heavier, more powerful than the forces in favor.
I think the trend we saw in the morning is as a result of people sitting down themselves Saturday or Sunday and ask themselves, am I ready to sell this stock at this price? So in the morning, they were this washing your eyeball, I wash my eyeball, I wash your eyeball. The market wanted to attempt a recovery. But, and we know that Monday have traditions. I believe that this Monday, especially in this kind of a market, will not actually go the green. But I think I can assure you that beginning from tomorrow, especially the thinking that investor did over the weekend, we might see a different market from what it may close today.
Aruna, the two most popular equities listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for 2018, you know, the Access and Diamond Bank. And I think to a large extent that was the biggest transaction, the transaction that generated the most potent reaction for 2018. As at today, the two equities involved are among top 4 percentage gainers on the stock exchange. Let's start from Access Bank. We have seen a lot of price decline, right? It's like people were similarly preferring Diamond Bank to Access. But we have seen, though, whereas Diamond Bank is recording 8.9% plus or minus, Access is just recording 4.31%. What is your take?
What we first of all have at the back of our mind is that as far as fresh funds is not coming to this market, it is movement of funds from one equity to the other. Especially when the deal was to favor Diamond Bank shareholders. A number of people would have visited their position in Access Bank and go and quickly position, speculators anyway, position in Diamond Bank. And anybody that took Diamond Bank with 261 kobo and 1 naira and has sold at 2 naira 18 kobo at 2 naira 20 kobo, will come back to Access Bank and take another position, especially when Access has declined from 7 naira to below 6 naira.
All this we are saying are in the short term. But in the medium to long term, we all know that there's not going to be Diamond Bank anymore. Everything will ultimately become Access. All right? Shouldn't people rather take position in Access? Because ultimately, right, in another 6-7 months, there's not going to be Diamond Bank anymore. Because every position that anybody might be taking in Diamond Bank now has to be exited. That is the reasoning, that is the thinking. Shouldn't Nigerians begin to think of possibilities in the medium and long term than just whatever they can get in the short term? To me, is neither here nor there.
But what I think what they are thinking about is that they want to get it to Access through a rather soft lever by entry to Diamond Bank, because at 3 naira 13 kobo, a share for maybe 247. I think as far as I'm concerned, it's a very good deal. A number of people who want to get it to Access through Diamond, they believe that at the end of the day, they are going to get it more, they are going to gain in more than take a position in an Access.
But when you go to take position in Access, you know, the value that would accrue to your position is a function of what ultimately happens to Access and not necessarily Diamond.
What they are looking at is that, look at it, the Access is going to consume the shares of Diamond, then that will increase their outstanding.
Yes.
And if their earnings is not close to that commensurate level, then it means their earning per share will drop. And if their earning per share drops, then the probability of paying that same dividend they used to pay will not likely be there, and it will affect their price.
Of course, we should not expect, because you know the result that is coming from Access now has got nothing to do with Diamond Bank.
It will be a standalone.
All right? It will be standalone. And the result should, in fact, will be so good that the current price of 6 naira will look too small, too little. Why? Let us even look at what the bank has done as a third quarter. So place the third quarter earning per share vis-a-vis the current price. All right, let us assume that the bank at the end of the third quarter decided to shut all their branches, which was not what they did. All right, and then they now decide to open it now. The 6 naira price is relatively low. These are things that people often don't consider. But you know, before they eventually even come back to Diamond Bank, it's going to be much later this year, and that should be, in fact, we will begin to see the impact of Diamond Bank purchases in their books in third quarter 2019, not even half year. You get the point? So why are people discounting the second, the third quarter earnings in Access and the potentials in their audited report that has nothing to do with Diamond? And then they are looking at the Diamond, because between now and the time the transaction is consummated, all right, there must be at least 3 results from Access, and all these 3 results expectedly will show forth good performance.
You know, we have discussed on this platform that we have about 4 type of players in the market. We have the skipper, we have the speculator, and we have the position holder. You are taking the position holder and the investor. Like a speculator is not looking at tomorrow, it's looking at what it can take in the interim. So I think it's the action that is rubbing off there on Diamond and on Access. I think after about a month or 2 months after, I think we'll see a balance in the prices of both stocks.
Because as we speak, Diamond Bank is not expected to bring any fantastic result in their audited earnings, or their first quarter, or their second quarter.
The focus now is no longer on Diamond Bank result. It's on that 3 naira 13 kobo that Access is going to buy.
Let me ask one question. If as Access eventually comes to the market, got everybody surprised, will that still lead to further increase in the price of Diamond Bank or Access?
It's going to the pendulum will not swing to that to Access. Because right, the market is always waiting for information, and the moment the information is good, it will be reflected in the price of the stock.
All right, we will still take time to talk about these 2 equities going into the year. I could see Vitafoam as one of the losers, highest percentage loser today, 5.56% upon the 1 for 4 bonus and 25 kobo dividend.
I think what they are looking at, as at the time that result was released, the 52-week high
Right.
was 4 naira.
Okay.
So when the result was released, it moved from 4 naira to 4 naira 99 kobo.
Right.
And any position holder in that month back at 4 naira or below 4 naira, we look at
Vitafoam.
Vitafoam. We look at it as an opportunity to cash. And meanwhile, the closure date is still February 15. So it is believed that if they cash out at 4 naira 99 kobo, 4 naira 80 kobo, 4 naira 70 kobo, it might still come back. Then when the closure date is getting nearer, then they go back and take their position.
Will I be correct to believe that what you are indirectly saying that I should still keep my attentions on Vitafoam?
Yeah, it's at 25 kobo and 1 for 5. I think it's very good.
What price do you think I should begin to target Vitafoam?
Maybe the 4 naira that they took off from.
So if I see that one,
Vitafoam at 4 naira that they took off from when the result was released, I think it would be a very good buy.
Now we could see that 40 oil seems to be quiet when the major force is exiting. Of course, it generated a little bit of attention, but now it's like quiet. What is your take?
I think why is, the AGL has visited and had gone. Like I said,
and the angel is not going to visit again.
You never can tell. It depends on the contract. I think begin to say that it depends on why Oga is exiting 40 oil. But whichever way it is, I think it's going to be for good. It now depends on the incoming owners, how they are going to manage it well. One of the things is that they don't have the competence to run that company. I'm not talking for them. I'm only asking a question. What the mind of investor that want to put his money in FO will be asking is that do they have that competence? Do they have the pedigree as far as managing a company like FO is concerned?
Okay, we will still come back to the market and see what it is doing. But let me forgo some of the things I wanted that we talk about and look at the Nigerian stock market and the President Buhari years from May 29, 2015, at least up until December 31st, 2018. You see, we are saying this without prejudice. I don't discuss politics. I'm going to vote, and whoever I'm going to vote for as a full-blooded Nigerian remains personal to me. All right? I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in politics. But there's no way you will analyze stocks without analyzing politics.
It's not possible.
It is not possible because the stock market is only a subset of an economy. All right? And so the economy is just only a subset of the entire whatever that is happening in the nation. So, Aruna, without even looking at figures, between 2015 and 2018, will you say the tenor of the current administration has been positive? Please put where you belong aside. Let's talk reality here. All right? And no politician can quote me or quote you and use it as basis. When I had one saying that the market in 2018 came down, and the question I asked, though I did not have the opportunity to tell him direct, why are you referring to only 1 year? What about last year when the market grew 42.3%? Why not talk about that? The market lost 17.8% last year. So looking at 2015, I think if I'm not mistaken, the first trading day after May 29th should be, was it 2nd or 3rd of June, which was where I started the collation of figure. To you, how has the market performed?
Well, I like every expectation, just like the way we are expecting for another dispensation. You know, when it was announced that this current president was the winner, the market went as far as 5% for a day. And I would rather not say that the market is a reflection of a person. I think it's a reflection of the economy. I would say because I would say somebody's administration is the one that's responsible to the economy. We also, what happened this year is that it's a pre-election year. A number of things need to go into it, whether it is the current, the incumbent that is going, or whether it's, if we even have one party system, as far as there's going to be election. And you know, when it comes to choosing leaders, it's always, there's always fracas, there's always rift. So as far as that is concerned, like I've always said it, if you go to your friend's house and you discover that himself and the wife carried mortar and they're about to fight, what do? You tell them, I'm coming, I will come back. When your tempers are down, I will come back. Because nobody, the foreign investor will do his money here in the country and be risking it. A number of things goes into it, including foreign exchange risk. Assuming the next man come and decide to revalue the naira or decide to devalue the naira, how will he be able to get out his fund the way it came? So a number of things good. I'm not adducing that to an individual.
But okay, looking at the market and the way the economy had done, you know, in 2016, the Nigerian economy officially entered recession. Right? And the market, despite the recession, recorded only 6.17% decline. And the following year, when the recession was said to have been beaten and arrested, the market grew 42.3%. Last year, profit taking, fear of what will happen in 2019 eventually led to people exiting the market and looking for other
alternative investment.
All right? To me, with the eyes that I see and what I use my eyes to do is to read equity performance between 2015 and now. If what the market had recorded is 7.68% decline, I do not think that this current administration is a bad omen for the Nigerian market. Do you agree with me?
I also believe, because if it's the bad omen, a number of things will have happened. I know as we speak, today is just the 7th of January 2019. Between first and today, a number of people have done a number of great things. They have dedicated houses, they have bought cars, they have gone into things. So I also don't believe so.
Aruna, let me also tell you this. Of course, we couldn't have captured it because of the number of companies that will have been involved. Most companies operating that are still listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange recorded poor results in 2016, if you recall, particularly the manufacturing concerns. But by 2017, most of them bounced back. And even last year, despite the fact that the indicators are down, that is, prices are generally down, all right? You see many of them improving in their turnover and their profit after tax. And then how there are some people will come out and say that the Nigerian economy is...
No, I think why their performances went down was because of the foreign exchange policy.
Yeah,
and they don't have
that was in 2016.
They don't have dollars to import, as far as that was corrected. And another thing you should know is that an average Nigerian, whether it's a company or an individual, is very resilient.
Yes.
Very resilient. When they enter into a system, they understand the system and blend with it.
Okay, now arriving at this level and looking basically or critically at the way last year performed, 2017, 42.30% growth. Do you think it will have even been possible for the market to have generated the kind of return it did in 2017, in 2018? Was it not part of the gains that were recorded in 2017 that the market just took a little bit from in 2000?
That means, assuming that 2019 was a pre-election year?
Yeah.
Of course, why not? As far as all indicators are upward looking.
Okay.
Because what determines the price is the performance. If, let me take assuming guarantee as at second quarter of 2018. For argument's sake, they've done an EPS of 10 naira, and they are giving interim dividend of 2 naira. Wouldn't the price move beyond 57 naira that it has ever moved to? It's just performance. If it had been like that, the market would have responded. It's not that because the market did 42% last year, it must decline the next year. No.
All right. Having said that, let's quickly look at the way the market performed in 2018 month on month. Of the 12 months in 2018, I could only see growth January, June, and December of 2018 that the market recorded significant growth. All right. All the fears and panic and everything will be gone by February. Elections, I think most elections will have been over by middle of March. All right. Now, looking at the way the market performed last year, in January, 16.26% growth, in February, 2.54% decline, March, 4.21% decline. April, the market actually struggled, but at the end of the day, it still lost 0.57%. What month of 2019 do you think I should do major investment in this market?
But just like you have just observed, I think we saw what happened after the election, had the market gained 5% even in a day. The moment the presidential election is done and concluded that the winner is announced, it depends on who now emerges. Then the market will respond to that. And meanwhile, we've just talked about quarter three of companies. They are going to release their quarter four by March and by April. So, which means that if the election is favorable, which is part one, and coupled with the result that we'll be seeing and the kind of dividend that they are going to pay out, then we should expect the market to respond positively from March and April.
If I want to take risk, now we begin to wind down. If I want to take risk, what quality, what kind of stocks specifically do you think I should take risk in? Looking at, because one thing I've found out is that when prices decline, it is always easier for some set of equities to recover faster than the others. Market declined geometrically between 2008 and 2010, 2011. Some are still battling. As a matter of fact, the probability that they will look up in the next 1-2 years actually statistically tends to zero, right? But some had since recovered. Nestle had since recovered. Nigerian breweries have since recovered. Guinness has since recovered. As a matter of fact, many of them also surpassing the prices they have ever been, even before the market ever crashed at all. So when best to buy stocks is not when prices are moving, but when prices are down. That is when you take the risk. And technically speaking, in the market, the higher your risk, the higher the potential returns, right?
Yes.
You agree with me? You're an economist, right? Fine. What quality of stocks and what kind of stocks do you think I could now take this higher risk in with the mindset of coming out with huge returns?
Without favor, in no particular order. You know, we have always talked about fundamental. We said if you want to make mistake with a Zenith. If you want to make mistake with guarantee. Because actually they are not mistake. No matter how much you are keen now, you have not actually make mistake, just a matter of time. You look for fundamentally sound stocks. Like I've said, what you do is to put down the quarter three down, look at their growth. When there is a growth in turnover, it means that they are still, no matter how tight the economy is, they are still trying to expand their market share.
Zenith is still selling at 21 naira 50 kobo. Today, as we speak, it is losing 0.92%. What price do you think is appropriate for Zenith?
At 21 naira, I think it's a good, because before I left the trading floor, Zenith was doing 21.95.
And I can see guarantee. It has gained marginally 1.04% today at 33 naira 85 kobo. What price do you think?
At 33 naira, it's a good buy
for guarantee.
For guarantee.
What about the big elephant? Big elephant just joined the league of 10 highest percentage gainer for today with a growth, though marginally, 0.67%. But FBNH at a price of 7.50 naira.
That is, you see, after the 52-week low of all low that he has done at 295 kobo, when it was coming back, came back from 7 naira. From that 7 naira, it grew up to 15. So such a feat can happen in FBNH.
Right. So what about low price equities?
Transcorp.
Yes,
FCMB Fidelity.
I can see Transcorp trying
to resisting 116.
Yes.
The close 116 on Friday. It's trying to resist 160 seriously this morning. At Transcorp at 160, I think it's a good buy.
And what about healthcare? We come to, I keep talking about Fitson. Let me see what Fitson has done today. But what do you have to say about
the issue I have with Fitson is that if you want to take position in Fitson, you have to be patient. The liquidity in Fidelity, FCMB, and Transcorp is not much in Fitson. Fitson is that you can open the machine and discover that it's on offer, and in your presence it can still go on bid. But FCMB, Fidelity, and Transcorp, there is a bid, there is offer. If you want to buy, you can easily buy. If you want to exit, you can easily exit.
Right, you are actually correct, because what I can see now with Fitson is 2,000 volume. So far, so good today. And the price has neither moved up or down, 4.95%. But I know the organization is preparing for a right issue for 2019. Will you be buying?
It depends on the price. If the price is lower than the market price, why not?
Right.
But they have to make the price lower than the market
Access
price.
to is coming to the market. They have said February. Right issue. Will it be appropriate to buy or not? Now, I don't even know the cutoff date for the right as yet. But with the way the price has come down, don't you think that one should just buy it and then maybe one can still enjoy low price when the right eventually opens?
But you know, if you are buying from the floor, you are not helping access, except to buy the right.
Okay. Now, we look at just one or two equities on the loser's side. NEM Insurance. It's currently down 10%. When you talk about performance, NEM Insurance, without even me looking at figures, should lead, or the insurance subsector for 2000. In fact, they led the insurance subsector in price performance in 2018.
But you know, we've always said that a good stock in a bad market is a bad stock. What we saw in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of January, I can answer that.
All right. So as we speak now, as we wind off for today, the Ultra Index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is still largely in the red, 0.59%. I continue to track NSA Pension, also still down 1.05%. NSA Premium down 0.13%. Aruna, thank you for your time, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Your last word and your number for those who might want to speak with you.
My take, which is my own though, is that what we saw in the market last week may not repeat itself. What is happening now is that people are looking at their eyeball, they are trying to make a decision. The market is trying to take a turn, and I believe the turn will be up. From tomorrow, we'll be seeing the market closing in green. My number is 002-300-9379, 002-300-9379.
All right. Thank you so much for being a part of this show today. By the grace of God, we are going to be returning here Monday afternoon. And when we return, we are going to be looking at the possibilities, what specific equities you should be considering, not just for the week, but for the year. We will begin our countdown to elections 2019 and how all this should affect your investment decision. If you have access to your radio, if you are in Lagos, why not tune in to Radio 1 103.5 FM 9 to 9:15 Monday through Friday. I will be there, and in other 11 states and stations across the country. And visit our website www.stocksng.com stocksng.com. STOCKSNG as in Nigeria.com. Until Monday afternoon, when I shall be returning here, I remain yours sincerely in wealth creation, its accumulation and preservation. Apayomi or Babulido. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of program on Lagos Television.